Namaste, namaste, namaste. It's been quite a while. Anyway, quality is more important than quantity. I can speak half hour and maybe say more than in 1 week. All day blabbing. But I want to speak about this topic and I want to really speak. I want to speak about the mind. The mind. The mind. Mind, what is the mind? It does not exist. Is the program, is the false ego mind self, which was actually programmed by society, created by society, parent, school, society like this. It's the Matrix program. It's separation from self, thinking it is you, blaming you for who you are, for how you feel, judging you on every step for who you are, for what you feel, for what you think, analyzing, defining, controlling, opposing, forcing, resisting. It is the opposition to self, separation from self, thinking it is you. But we are what we feel, what feels right to us. This is who we are. What doesn't feel right to us, this is who we are. It shows us who we are not. So if somebody says and does something to you, what doesn't feel right to you, it's not for you. It shows you what doesn't feel right. But ego says, oh, they mean good. They didn't mean like this. I have to allow them. Ego blaming us always for what we feel. We feel that this, what people in our energy are doing, is very bad. Like Trump said, very bad. But we allow people to do it because our ego is blaming us that we are not good enough, that we have to allow it, that we are bad, blaming us for how we feel. It doesn't feel right to us. Also, the ego, ego mind. You want to start playing piano, you want to start doing videos, you want to start writing poetry and posting your creations on the internet. And the ego mind is blaming you. This is who you are. This is not you. This is not good for you. You are not good enough. You're bad. You're guilty. You should be ashamed. Stop. Separation, opposition from self, blaming us for how we feel, afraid of us. Oh, this will happen. This will happen. You better don't do this. Or, you want to start something beautiful in your life, some new chapter. Or you want to tell to somebody what you're doing in my energy doesn't feel right. And your ego blaming you. You're a very bad person. You're a bad person. You're guilty. You're bad. They mean good. They didn't mean no harm. You have to, out of guilt, forcing us that out of guilt we go out of separation from ourselves, suffer in what doesn't feel right to us because we have to be good. We have to be normal, suffering for others. And blaming us for how we feel so we don't do what our heart desires to do in this world. And ego mind is always, I know myself. I know this. It's always controlling. It has to control everything what it has to control you and control everything what you see. It has to comment on it, define it, analyze it, deny it, spit on it, attack it, agree with it, disagree. Because ego has to control everything, has to be in control. If ego believes this is not a tree that grows out there, ego believes this is not a tobacco, this is not a tobacco, homegrown tobacco. Ego believes this is not homegrown tobacco, and ego will tell you this is not homegrown tobacco, this is poison. Ego has to have everything in control and make it as it is, ego mind. Even if it's not so, the tree is outside, even if you say the tree is not outside, I'm sorry, but tree is still outside. This is organic tobacco. If you say it's not, it's still organic tobacco, homegrown. ego has to, but you know. So what I want to tell you, what is in the mind is only true in the mind. Ego doesn't know anything about the thing that it says, and has to says everything about it, because it knows nothing. But what things that ego knows, ego mind, our mind knows, are only real in the mind, nowhere else, only in the mind. So somebody may think for you that you're a hooker, that you're on drugs or whatever. But this is the only true in their mind, not in you. You know, you're not these things. You may write something beautiful, somebody get offended and hurt because it triggers him, reminds him from some words on the trauma that he has from childhood that he's suffering, or his past relationship, or whatever it is. And he will attack you. He will attack his own, opposing his own mind, the suffering in his mind, or creating. And what is, you know, they can think of you that you're on drugs, but you're on the divine ecstasy of love. And you know, it's like this. And you are in divine ecstasy of love in the truth. They think you're on drugs. Who gives a fuck? The truth is not in their mind. The truth is in being and doing. You are divine being. Okay, you know, I have a friend because I'm going through therapist and I'm really needing help sometimes and like this. And she comes only to help me. And we're friends like this. And people think all kind of things. People think that she coming here to bang bang boom boom and make, you know, like this, you know. But people always think what is in the mind. They are filthy mind and they see filthy in the purity. And somebody helping, somebody who loves you helping, and they see sex, because sex is in their mind. Same Michael Jackson said, "I'm not a pedophile. I'm a child. I can commune only with children," he said. They understand me, they never hurt me. But it is old men, they're pedophiles, and they see what they are, they see in me. It's in them. They judge me according to what they are. He said like this. So whatever others think is only in their crazy mind is not true in the reality of the truth, beloveds. And you may think that you are an idiot, that you're not good enough, that you are sinful, that you are worthless, that you deserve dying, that you are nothing good. But in the truth of your divine soul, how your divine soul thinks, source, God, you are a divine being. You are always good enough. You never can be better than this moment. You're always the best you can be, because only this moment exists, and you can be better only next moment that doesn't exist. And even if you are killing somebody, even if you did the most terrible thing, you did the best you could. You could not do better for the best. To learn the best, to stop doing that shit, to elevate on the next level. And whatever happening now is teaching us again to master the best, even if we are going through worst. And the next moment we can only be better. So the mind is always lying. Mind is always lying. And mind has to control everything, you know. Everything. It has to have under control. I know myself. I know this. I know myself. That who is that I that knows me, and who is that I that I know? Who? There are two of us, or am I in schizophrenia in my mind, thinking it is me in separation, opposition from myself, judging me, blaming me for who I am, for how I feel, afraid of me, thinking only illusions that are in my mind. The second I feel. Yeah, like you say. Because the mind is illusion. It is separation from ourselves, the darkness, separation from our heart, from everything, from who we truly are, from our soul, thinking it is us to keep us in the matrix, in the darkness. Yeah, so it is. It's crazy, it's insane. It's crazy and it's insane, you know. Hmm. Knife can never cut itself, knife can only cut things. So how can I know myself? The I see everything there is around me, on all sides. But I can never see the I that I am myself. So how can I know myself? I can only see everything. So I know, I feel, I have feeling. No, I feel. Just feeling, knowing, doing, being. It's not me. I am this. I'm my mind. What? And mine has to, you feel the flow from the heart, flowing like a river from the heart. This is who I am. I can see. I see. I am. It's not I know myself. It's I am. It means I am being. I am doing. I am feeling. I am experiencing. Not I know myself. No, because the mind knows. And the more mind knows, more mind knows. More questions you have, more answers you give to the mind. More questions, mind gets infinite questions because you don't know anything about it. You only have more information in the mind, so the more questions arrive, and you are just all anxious and enforcing, and you know more of this thing. You know so many answers, you got 1,000 answers, but you feel more separated and you don't know it. You know it less than you know it before. You are distant from what you want to know, because truth is not knowing. Knowing is in the mind, just knowing words and information. Truth is in being, experiencing, feeling. Like you can know everything about water, everything about water, everything. You can write books about water, everything about water. But damn, if you are in a desert with no water, shit. Then you know you don't know water, because you need to drink water to know water. So no one can tell you anything. And the true teacher would not give you the answer, but will tell you meditate. Fuck the mind. Fuck the mind. Mind is only analyzing, judging, forcing, resisting to get it, forcing to get the answer. And then you never get the answer. You only hear your mind and everything. You want to realize the higher truth, higher dimensional truth. But you know it in the mind, you want to control it in the mind. And with the mind that is third dimensional, you want to know the fifth dimension. And you know the third dimension because you want to know according to the mind, according to third dimension. And you never get the answer because you are forcing, resisting, trying to get the answer outside of yourself, forcing, resisting, then blaming yourself that you don't get an answer, then disappointment. But if you just let your mind be, no more analyzing, no more judging everything, defining, analyzing everything, forcing to get the answer outside of yourself, resisting, defending your mind, and analyzing. And just let it be your thoughts. Let them be. Mind cannot be silent. But we can control the analytical mind to analyze, to judge, to define, to stop our mind and judge our thoughts. These are bad thoughts, forcing, resisting, and trying to get outside answers. And then we just let the mind be and let the thoughts flow like the clouds. We don't try to catch them and analyze them, blame them, define them. We don't stop the flow of the river of life. We just let the thoughts flow by like clouds in the sky. We leave our mind alone, let it be crazy. It's our mind, every mind is crazy because it's separation from ourselves. blaming us for how I feel, judging us, darkness, it has crazy thoughts and all the low vibrational things. And the Buddha, the one student came to Buddha and said, Buddha, my mind is completely crazy. And Buddha said, mine too. He has, yeah, but master, you are a master. How can you say that your mind is also crazy like mine? He said, I don't take my mind seriously. I leave it alone. So mean, Buddha is not identifying with the mind, not trying to stop the mind, to control the mind, blame the mind, analyze, define the mind, control, force, resist with the mind, try to get something, answers with the mind. And Buddha just letting the mind be, leaving it alone like clouds in the sky, let them flow away. He said, I'm just leaving my mind alone, and I'm just being as I feel, and everything is beautiful. I'm not my mind. Leave the mind alone, because mind has to control everything. And when you don't know anything, you have to comment and define on everything, tell everything about it, and you know nothing. But when you know it, you don't know what you believe in the mind. What you believe in the mind are beliefs in the mind, programs by information from others. What you know, you experience, you feel in your being. It's revealed, realized, remembered in your being. And you know it, you don't believe it. What you believe, you don't know. What you know, you don't believe. And you just speak what you know, what you feel in your heart. Mind is crazy. You let it be. And when we when we are trying to stop it, trying to control it, trying to analyze it, trying to force and control and like this, we are identifying with the mind. We are telling ourselves that we are the mind, and we're trying to stop the mind with the mind. We're trying to stop the chatter in the mind and negativity and all the crazy with the forcing, resisting, blaming, with the ego mind again, like trying to fix a hammer with the same hammer. It doesn't go. You just leave it alone and we are being as we feel. And then we realize that, like Buddha said, this how you are now is perfect. Perfection. Because we are identifying with our mind, blaming ourselves for how we feel, judging ourselves, analyzing ourselves, stopping ourselves, blaming ourselves, controlling, forcing, resisting, and trying to know the information in the mind and thinking this is how it is, this is how we know, words and information in the mind and identifying with the mind. But actually, we are not the mind, we leave it alone. This is just clouds in the sky, dark clouds. We always are being just how we feel. We are being how we feel. And we were always perfect. But we were always thinking that we are our mind, separation, opposition to ourselves, blaming us for how we feel, judging us, analyzing us, controlling us, forcing us in separation, opposition to ourselves, in suffering in the mind. We were identifying with the mind, but we were always being as we feel. But our mind was blaming us for how we feel, judging us, stopping us from just being like a river of life. Our thoughts just flowing one with no another, with no judgment, and being as we feel from the heart like children with no judgment, tabula rasa, mind of a child. We're not identifying with the mind. Mind is flowing. And then when the mind flows like this, then from the heart, the river of life is flowing as we feel. Like I'm speaking now, the truth that's coming from the heart. I'm not speaking from the mind thinking, but is the truth, the source truth in my heart experienced, revealed, remembered, realized. And I think the light comes in my mind, and I'm thinking the truth that is in my heart, revealed, realized, experienced, felt. And I translate it with my crazy mind, really strong mind, and good mind, but crazy mind, and also mind healing. I doing healing on the mind, and like this because these 2 years was insane. Anyway, and I'm thinking the truth from the heart. I'm not thinking the darkness in the mind, beliefs that are actually programmed by society, parents, friends, bad experiences in this world. No, I'm thinking the truth that is in my heart, turning it into the show with my mind, but not lies in the mind, the programs and traumas, but truth, love from my heart. And this is how it should be. But in the third dimension, we are separated from ourselves, from the heart, and the mind is in darkness, programmed by society, by parents, by bad experiences and traumas. And that's why mind is so negative. It's always telling us the worst scenario that will never happen anywhere but in the mind. And when we face the bad scenario, mind is always warning us in the similar situation that this is want to protect us. And that's why mind is most negative and seen most negative in the people, because bad things people do in this world, exploit, cheat, use, force, violate, and then people think the worst thing of you, and you may think the worst of others, because the mind is programmed by negative situations in life. That's why mind is so negative, thinking in the angels, seeing the worst. And in the third dimension, mind is just, we are thinking the darkness that is in the mind. And that's why I don't understand why people have to speak about it if they don't know. They're only guessing in the mind, thinking that according to their programs and traumas in the mind, that's how they see everything and judge everything. But if you feel energy never lies, you feel the truth, you feel who is good, you feel who is bad, who will fuck you up, who loves you, you feel the energy around you, you never lie, because in you, and you feel experienced, and divine truths are revealed, remembered, realized, experienced, felt within you. You know them, like you know this phone if you are holding it in front of your head. You are experiencing, the mind is only thinking what is in the mind, and then thinking illusions, and trying to tell others that this is the truth, but are only thoughts according to their programs and traumas. They're telling you, don't go into the water, you will drown, because he's afraid of water so much, because maybe past life he drowned, or when he was a kid he almost, and now he's so afraid and telling others, because this is his program, is not true for you and not for him. But mind is like this. And always has to mind, have everything under control, define, analyze everything, judge it, analyze it, define it, have it under control, pack, this is like this is like this, because mind has to have everything under control. And then all what we get is the mind that has to control everything. We never actually experience the thing. Like you may see a butterfly, and they are fighting about the words that human invented to control the butterfly. This is this butterfly. And the child, and they are suffering, fighting. They are not experiencing the butterfly, but their mind trying to control the butterfly with words in the mind. But the child is experiencing the butterfly, how beautiful it is, how it's flying, and child is smiling, and child doesn't see butterfly, but just the being that is, and doing, and feeling, and has full experience. And when you know words, you don't experience nothing. But when you just, with no words, no mind trying to control it, experience the thing, you experience the reality. And if you have to, with your mind, always define, analyze everything to have it under control with your mind, you will always have your mind having this. But if you allow the silence of the mind, if you know that you don't know, don't say anything about it, don't analyze it, don't judge it, don't define it and control it with your mind. Then you just the mind and you never hear yourself. But if There's no need, because mind has to control everything with words. But if you allow the silence of the mind, you let it be. Mind wants to define, analyze, control everything, have it under control. You let it be, you don't allow it. And few times, few days, it will be very crazy because you want to have everything under control, and they define it, pack it, this is like this is this. But in few times, mind will stop like child. If you are chastising, child goes more crazy. If you leave child alone, it goes boring because nobody is telling him to stop and stop. So the mind also stops trying to control everything. And then you may realize that you are not the mind. The mind is just separation from yourself to control you, blame you, have you under control and everything. And then you experience, reveal, truth is remembered, experience, revealed within your being, experienced. Now you know it. Now you don't have no questions because you experienced, reveal it, remembered. Your being is the truth. But until you have to control everything with the mind, this is like this, they define it, and until you seek answers from others, and always like this, you are telling your mind, and that you want to get everything with the mind, you don't allow your soul, God, to reveal, realize, remember in your being the truth. And then okay with the mind you do it like this. If you have to analyze, control everything, then you're just being your mind. But you allow the silence of the mind, you realize you're not your mind, and you are in the moment now, just in being as you feel. No mind have to control and define you and everything. And you realize you're not your mind. And the truth is revealed, realized, experienced, revealed from your being. You're not your mind. Mind is separation from yourself to keep us in the matrix. Has to control everything in ourselves, and we identify with it. But we cannot know anything because we know only information in the mind. If we want to know enlightenment, we have to get enlightened. If you want to get your truth, you have to meditate and trust yourself, your soul, so the truth is revealed with no mind stopping it. And you're trying to get it from others and like this. But if we are forcing from others and with our mind and like this, then we never get the truth. We only get the mind that is programmed and only infinite questions. We allow the silence of the mind. We realize we are not the mind. Mind is separation from ourselves, blaming us for who we are. But why does not mind blame us? This I want to say before I end. Why does mind blame us? Mind is actually program of society. Separation from ourselves. Identification. You are this name and surname. You are a student. You are a boy. You are a punk. You are a hippie. You are I don't know what. You are a yuppie. You are fancy schmancy. You're a badass motherfucker. You're a doctor. You're this. You should be this and like that. You're a teacher. You're a bum. Identification that society programs. You should behave like this. This you should behave. Blaming you for how we feel. Regardless how you feel, even if it feels the suffering, you have to be like this and like that. Program, false program of society and parents. And job and like this. Not who we are. It's going in separation and opposition from ourselves. Program, society. And it's blaming us. We want to start playing piano. We want to start dancing. We want to quit the job. We want to tell to somebody because they feel like shit to leave us alone. We want to start writing books. We want to publish books. We want to post our articles, our videos. We want to start creating, drawing, painting. We want to start dancing. But ego telling us you're not good enough. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're bad. School And parents always blaming us. Up to 7 years, we don't have conceptual, analytical mind. We would understand conceptually why we are getting punished, what we did, why now we are beaten. We may put oil, black oil, on the new pants, and mother goes crazy because she given 50 euro for the pants for a child, and then child gets a little uh, up the ass and screaming. Child doesn't understand what the child did, doesn't have conceptual mind up to 7 years. Child only understand the child was beaten because he was playing in joy, in oneness with the source, their soul. And then parents were telling us, you're not good enough, you're bad, you destroy our family, nothing will ever be good for you with you. And then actually our ego was program of society, afraid of us of how we feel, blaming us for how we feel because our parents and teachers were blaming us for what we do, for what feels right to us, telling us we are not good enough. If you don't stop crying, I'll give you something to cry about. Punishing us for doing what feels right to us. Telling us we are bad, we are not good enough, we are guilty. And that's how the ego mind, the separation from ourself was created. Separation, opposition to ourself, blaming us for how we feel. You say to yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm bad. It's still your parents and teachers that went crazy and punished you for nothing and screamed at you that you're good enough, not good enough, you're very bad, you're bad for the family. And then you want to start something from the heart that you love. And you blame yourself, you're not good enough, they will not like it, I'm not worthy, I'm bad, I'm guilty. Still, parents and teachers screaming at us, blaming us for how we feel, telling us that what feels right for us is not true and we should do what is normal, what is written, what is right, not what feels right to us and what doesn't, that we don't do. We have to do what they say, or we are bad and not good enough. We were always punished and we were always bad for what felt right to us because we have to do what is right. And our ego is just a creation of society, parents, and bad experiences and identifications of society, parents, blaming us for how we feel, judging us for how we feel, making us go against ourselves in separation and opposition to ourselves in our ego mind, blaming us for how we feel. But we were always perfect, like animals are just being as they feel, they are enlightenment, and never mind blaming them for how they feel. I give you my word, much love. We are not our mind. I love you so much. We are in this together. I'm healing, going really through really a special healer therapists and special cold water therapists and really fighting to win this. And I find some family, soul family members here to help me, and I feel very beautiful, great things. I'm so grateful for Milan, for Renata, for Daria, for everybody. You know who I mean, Tina, everybody. Everybody and the children. I don't have my children, but I love all the children because I'm a child like Michael Jackson. I never grew up. I'm autistic, crystalline baby. So don't fuck with me because I go crazy if somebody want to control me, does anything what doesn't feel right to me, and then they think that they can continue to do it if I tell them to please stop. Anyway, I love you so much. We are the children. We have to become children again and stop being the grown up mind. We are being as we feel as children know before we fuck them up and create their ego mind and turn their soul off. Anyway, I love you. We are in this together, realizing we are not a mind. So we can be as we always were, God, life from the heart. I love you. And if anybody loves me, I don't know if you love me, you don't have to give me anything because I'm not blaming you for being as you feel, or that I am free for everyone. Everybody welcome. But I ask for donations. If anybody has anything against me asking for donations, I'm not asking you whether I am free for everyone. You can come, but donations only if somebody feels in their heart that they really want to help and support my mission. They feel like they got something from my work, I want to give from the heart. Enjoy, that's love. I don't want no guilt. Know that you have to like this. But if you want to from the heart, this is love. Because I'm also doing this video out of love from the heart because it feels right to me. I accept everything what comes, nothing too small, nothing too big. I love you so much. We are in this together. And if you give donation, if anything in my heart, anything invisible, valuable, let God give you. I don't know anything. I'm just being as I feel, crazy as that I am, and never mind. And I love you so much. Purnamaste. Ta-da!